All right. Hello, it is me, Brian Salinas. I'm here with,
Hello, I'm Sonica playing Mina.
all right, perfect. Okay, so, um, hello, Mina. Before we begin, I actually wanted to quickly go over confidentiality. Wanted to remind you that whatever you share with me stays here in private. Um, of course, except in situations that might be of legal concern, like harm to self or others, or if there's um, any vulnerable person that might be at risk. Those types of situations are required by law for me to report, but otherwise, everything else that we talk here, it's strictly just between us. So I'll, do my best to try to talk with you through everything today. Uh, to start off with, how is it going?
Honestly, not well. Um, I've been very irritated and frustrated, and um, I still am not with the whole idea of therapy. But we're here.
Okay, let's circle back from not quite being 100% with therapy yet. What's got you stressed out?
Um, hmm, some things happened at home. I kind of got frustrated and took it out on my son. And I don't know why anybody would do that. I don't know why I did that, but I got very angry at him.
Okay. So when you say took it out on your son, what do you mean by that?
I took my anger out on him, yelled at him, snapped at him.
Okay, gotcha.
Terrible mom because of that.
Okay. So did you do you mind if I ask, did you physically hurt your son at all?
No, I just yelled at him and just kind of snapped back at him, but
Okay.
not physically.
Okay, gotcha. Well, one instance like that, it does not define you as a mother. I just want you to know that. Um, there's more to you than that. So that aligns a lot of what we talked about. No problem. That aligns a lot of what we talked about last time we met, where you were wanting to kind of make sure your emotions and um, reactions were more in check. Was there anything that particularly triggered that, or was it a combination of just a lot of stress happening around in your environment?
There were just a lot of things going on, and I I don't know why I took it out on my son. He was just the first person there, and it just kind of came out on him.
Okay, gotcha. Well, it sounds like you do have a lot of guilt over that, that projection and transference of that stress. Um, but I want to reiterate that doesn't define you. That doesn't make you a terrible mom. That is just an aspect that we are here to work on and collaborate with. I know you mentioned that therapy was still something that you weren't quite feeling well with. Um, can we talk a little bit more about that? Why is there anything specific that's making you feel that way?
Yeah, so my last therapist tended to talk down on me a lot, and didn't seem to care too much. And I feel like that resulted in me, I guess, getting a little bit more trauma from it. And now I just don't trust therapists in general because that was just a bad experience.
Gotcha. Well, I'm very sorry that you had to experience that, you know. Um, no one deserves to be talked down to, let alone from a therapist, someone that you're confiding in and working to have that healthy relationship with. So, very sorry you went through that. Um, of course, we can either try to plan to find you a different therapist if you'd like. Could always get you a referral out to somewhere that might be a better fit. Because I just want to make sure that um, you have that extra support because I know you're going through a lot and you shared with me that moment where you were very overwhelmed, um, which is understandable because you are trying incredibly hard to manage family and all the stress that you're dealing with. Um, so I say maybe another route we can try is a different counselor that might be a better fit because I'm still wanting to see how you feel about exploring different options to manage those symptoms of that high intense emotions to make sure something like that is less likely to happen. How does that sound?
I think that would be good, but I think right now, because I'm still trying to get used to the idea of therapy, finding another person is just going to make it a little bit more difficult. So maybe we'll just stick with this right now until I feel like I'm ready to explore that a little bit more.
You got it. That is totally understandable. Um, with that being said, I do want to check in with you, one on one. Um, besides that instance where you feel like you um snapped, did you have any other thoughts about harming yourself? I know in the past you've had um some experiences with that, so I just want to make sure nothing like that is happening again.
No, nothing like that's happening again right now.
Okay, that's good. When that moment happened, um, did it take you a while to calm down, or did you feel heated and intense for the rest of the day?
It took me a second to calm down. I didn't realize that what I had done was so wrong, but it was
Mhm.
more my son's reaction that made me realize that okay, maybe I made a mistake. And I did something very wrong. And it took a little bit of time to get out of that um emotion.
Okay, gotcha. Um, what helped you get out of that emotion?
Honestly, thinking about making sure that I didn't traumatize my kid
Mhm.
more than what I've been through.
Gotcha. You've been through similar experiences in your childhood?
Yeah, I've been through way worse.
Way worse. Okay, gotcha. Well, I think it's great that you're not putting that same worseness towards your children. I think that in and itself is a huge accomplishment.
Thank you. I
Um,
appreciate that.
of course, of course. Um, what do you feel might have triggered um, that response from you in the moment?
Um, it could possibly be from my childhood. I've had experiences of getting yelled at when I was like in my early teens. Um, and worse than just getting yelled at, but part of it was getting yelled at. A lot of verbal abuse, and that kind of probably triggered my reaction. I as subconscious reaction.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Well, I appreciate you for sharing that with me. Um, Especially when you've experienced that amount of trauma growing up, it must be hard to be able to find that balance of being able to regulate your emotions now. But the fact that you were able to recognize that, okay, this was a time when things got a bit out of hand. I should meet up with my social worker, talk about this with them to see what we can do. I think the fact that you are taking that steps and that you're here, it's reflective of your strengths and your desire to be the best mom that you can be. So I do want to say I thank you for disclosing with me that information and about the past and the present. Of
Well, thank you for validating that.
course, not a problem. Um, we are running a bit short on time here, but I wanted to see if we can schedule another meeting together. Maybe next week we can follow up just to see if there is any other times where you felt like emotions got too intense. Um, and we can try to maybe have a session where we come up with new coping skills to try to boost your, to try to de-escalate those emotions.
I think that would be good. I really do want to be better for my kids, and I don't want to be a bad mom taking out my anger on them. So I definitely would want to schedule another appointment for the future so that we can work on that.
Okay, sounds fantastic. I think you are making great progress and have good intentions to reaching those goals. All right, we will aim for next week. Again, thank you for meeting with me. Um, have a good rest of the day, okay?
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.